It's the world's best shows from Las Vegas. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of my favourite people, and one of my favourite things to do is eat good food. And there's one place you always guarantee to get good food, that's at the Wynn, because everybody who's here is tried and tested, and they're big names in cooking. And I'm so delighted to talk to Chef Renee. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm really good. I've come to the Country Club restaurant today to enjoy what seems to me a kind of English flavour.
Thank you very much. We try to have distinguish us a little bit different to other places because we have this wonderful location overlooking the golf course. So when you sit here, you don't really know you're in Vegas. You look at the golf course, you look at the waterfall. So yeah, it seems a little bit more to be somewhere else than on the Vegas Strip.
How difficult is it competing with the other great restaurants in Vegas? Because there's a lot of top chefs here, aren't there?
There are definitely a lot of top chefs here, and I think this is a good thing in one way because the competition is very high. We are in a business which is very ego-driven as well. You never want to be less or more than anybody else. You always try to do better. You always try to compete with the best of the best here. The food and beverage program here at the Wynn is fantastic. I mean, there's nothing you cannot have. So it's a little bit easier for us to perform on that high level, which is asked of us, because the surroundings are here. We're given the opportunity that we can use anything and anything, which we really want. It's a very well designed operation, and it's very food and beverage oriented. The hotel is very, very food and beverage oriented, and I think this helps us a lot. So I think the competition within the Wynn is big, and I think the competition within the great chefs in the city became over the last years phenomenal, and I think that's why you have so many great chefs here, and everybody wants to try to make a point.
I might be getting this slightly wrong, but it appears to me more and more people are coming here now not for the gaming, they're coming here for the entertainment and for the food. People, I think, are getting wise to the fact that the house normally wins. When you're putting those $100 into the machine, it's unlikely you get them back. At least if you're putting $100 into a place like this, you're going to come away with a great meal. And I think people are working out the mathematics of that, aren't they? I
think you have a point there, and I think also over the last years, Vegas is not anymore just a gambling place. It's an entertainment. And entertainment for the whole entire family as well. And people don't see eating as a necessity anymore. They see it more as a celebration. I think the culture in this hotel and in other hotels is that you should be celebrating when you eat. You should celebrate your day. You're winning or you're losing with a great meal. And I think it's a great thing to start your day or finish your day, a great meal. And I think, people became more to the fact that, you know what, you go to Vegas, you entertain yourself, you lose, you win, you still always have a great chance to have a great meal and not only go, all you can eat buffets because we are hungry, because it's more of a culture now than it ever was, eating.
America is not known for its fine dining and its great food, really, is it? It's getting better, but I think it must be a treat for people to come into a restaurant like this who are American.
Absolutely. I understand the whole point you're saying, and I think you're right in that particular way. I do see, though, a big trend and a very fast-moving culture in that the restaurants are getting very much known. Chefs are building names in this country. American chefs are coming out of the woodworks and really do fantastic over the last couple of years, because it's not a job anymore. It's became a lifestyle for certain people, and that's what we grew up in Europe with. It was being a chef was a lifestyle and not a job. And I think as soon as the competition started here, and the Americans like to compete in everything and anything, I think this is when this whole culture started becoming what it's now. And I think people who live in this country also started more celebrating and more enjoying great food and getting educated in one way or the other one about what food is all about, and this is what it creates. And I think it's a very fast-moving and high-paced industry right now, and you see a lot of fantastic chefs here in this country.
The question I have to ask you is about getting the food to serve to the people, because there ain't much growing in Nevada, is there?
There's a little bit of a downfall in Vegas because you have nothing really here. But what is great on the Wynn, you can get whatever you want from wherever you want it from around the world. We fly in the fish from Italy. We fly in produce from the best growing areas in the States, out of the States. We have this luxury. So for us here, because all this is given to us, it's a little bit more easier, and we take it a little bit for granted too, because we on a day-to-day basis. But when you go out there and you really go to the supermarkets, when you go shopping on the weekends, you can see the difference in like products a lot, because unfortunately you're here in the middle of the desert and everything comes from like different locations, and there is not much natural growth out here. So yeah, it could be hard at points, but I think if you have the ability to get everything and anything from wherever you want within a day or two, you have a little bit of advantage.
Chef Rene, you seem like a very calm man. You seem like a very peaceful man. What do you like in the kitchen? I see the Gordon Ramsays of the world screaming and shouting at people and effing and blinding. How do you deal with your staff in the kitchen?
I just can tell you one thing. I heard what you said to me. If you go behind the scenes and ask the guys, you're gonna hear something totally different.
Really? Oh, how exciting! I'd like to see that.
Yeah. There is a certain excitement going on in the kitchen, and live, I say it is not like it. It's all just professional. It's just, there is hectic because you cannot control the business. The customers are coming to the door. They want to be fed. They want the top of the top. They expect the highest. They have the highest here. And you know what? It's like every day a tight game, you're on fourth down and you try to win the game. So it can get pretty intense at times.
Absolutely. And tell me about cooking the food itself. You're one of those rare chefs that actually cooks. It seems like they're too busy appearing on reality shows these days to actually enter a kitchen. I've spoken to a lot of Broadway stars and West End stars and headliners who have a favourite song within their show that they look forward to. Is this something that you look forward to me ordering so that you can cook it and make it your own?
I definitely try to sell you my style and my food, but I'm willing to adapt to what the individual customer wants. So we change pretty much a lot of dishes during the course of an evening to accommodate our customers. Do I get offended of it? No, I don't, because I understand, the times are over where you dictate what a customer has to eat. You give them what your philosophy is, and they still can choose if they want or if they want to change it a little bit. And I think since we're at the Wynn Resort, I think we should try to really please the customer and put our egos aside. Does it get sometimes to the way where like, okay, my feelings are hurt? I would say no, but you put this aside and try to satisfy the customer. So that's what I think our philosophy is here.
You see, I suppose it's an integrity thing as well. You know what you do better than I do. That's why you're a chef and I'm a DJ. I would find it insulting if somebody asked for salt and pepper and started putting tons of that on your food after you spent so much time crafting your meal. It is insulting.
I would take a couple of deep breaths and walk away from it for a little bit and like try to digest that whole entire thing. But you know what? That's probably how the customer likes it, and he doesn't walk away with a different opinion if you like the dish overall. Does it hurt sometimes? Yeah. If somebody pours ketchup over his prime grade meat, yeah, it does. But obviously the person likes it like that, and you can't. These times are over where you can't really dictate to people what they have to eat and that they have to eat it.
It is certainly not true, though, that the customer is always right. They're not always right, but I suppose when they enter your restaurant, they have to be.
I plead the fifth.
Congratulations on a beautiful restaurant. The Country Club is here at the Wynn, and you really are very lucky to be in one of the most beautiful casinos and hotels on the Strip. Chef Rene, thanks for talking to me on the World's Best Shows from Las Vegas.
Thank you very much.